attention to detail.
Yeah, thanks for these reports. These are really helpful.
So we get one more. That can't make it tonight.
Do what?
I think that's out of town.
Well, I saw a lot of cars around our house. I thought she was, that might be Jenny and Ray.
I think I saw both their cars.
All right, Tom, here.
Like a one is like a two.
You're the VIP.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You have
Every
the
time.
coolest yard.
Got lost the iCar. Oh, thanks, it's cool.
It's so big. My dogs would love that.
Yeah, my dogs. Never know.
But they would jump the fence. I have one that's in the skateboards.
But that,
I have one that's in the skateboards.
I used to, but this one I had since puppy, so she won't leave there. She knows the.
How long have you had that house?
18 years?
Well, that's cool.
Yeah.
I've had mine 27, but my yard's not as cool as yours.
It's pretty sweet. A lot of work.
Yeah, you're the only guy in town that has like a mower, like a riding mower, probably.
Oh, I don't.
You push it.
Yeah, I saw
You
that.
are an
first
Iron
one
Man.
time.
Look at you.
I got, there's too many trees, otherwise you'd have to.
I know, but that's, if you get a good like, golf course like ride-on mower, those trees are nothing.
For my
Yeah.
They had a thing in Florida called a fly mower. You know what a fly mower was a lawnmower that the blade literally created like a hover air.
Oh, sweet.
So you could just, and you had to do the banks of the ponds on the golf course with those. And they were steep and you didn't know what was in that water. You know, 9 times out of 10, you'd see like the two little eyes come out. You're just like, I'm being punished for something. And dew on the grass, it's steep. You don't want your foot to slip under there, but a couple of times you're like, ooh.
Did you work at a golf course or something?
Yeah. Dad's idea of babysitting was group lessons.
Say, what's that nice one?
I used to be long and wrong, and now I'm just wrong. No longer long.
Ready?
Yeah.
All right. Parks and Recreation Commission, Town of Georgetown, regular scheduled meeting Thursday, September 7th, 2023, 6 P.M. Notice and agenda for regular meeting, town hall will be open to the public for this meeting. There's an option to join virtually. Like to leave a comment, please call 303-569-2555, extension 2, or email townclerk@townofgeorgetown.us. We will give you details regarding the agenda. Call to order. Roll call. Steve Callaghan here. Tom Paxton here. Doug Luther. Daniel Owen. Brady Scott. Mr. Lumber.
Here.
Rob Connell.
Here.
Agenda approval.
I don't remember what the date is.
All the agendas are below.
Oh, July 6th?
Just the agenda.
Just the agenda. Just the first page, just the agenda.
No, okay, but.
Do you want to add anything?
First, I move that we approve that.
No, we're just approving the agenda.
Just the agenda.
Yeah.
Tom seconded. So all approved.
Who was first? Tom was first.
Second.
Thank you.
There you go.
Got it.
All
Okay.
right, so agenda approved. Minutes approval, June 1st, 2023.
And it's July 6th. You're
July
right.
6th, yes.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes of July 6th, 2023.
Second that.
All in favor? All
Uh,
right, minutes approved. Audience business. Members of the audience will have 5 minutes to present any matter of concern to the commission. No official action may be taken at this time. Old new business, Parks Tech report, Kevin.
So the 2 guys that you guys hired me for this summer, they worked out pretty good. We kept busy, building a little wall down there along 22nd Street at the lake. It's not quite done, but it's almost there.
Looks good.
So I got permission to let them stay there a couple of weeks to paint Foster's place. So that's been all power washed.
Is that all that's left down there, or just the paint? Paint Fosters?
Yeah, that's what they're doing.
Okay.
So we got it all power washed and we started staying it today. So we should have it done in a couple of weeks, hopefully. It all works out. And then, so Kelly Babion went on a drive-by with, drive around with Rick, I think it was with you. So the parking lot at the lake, he's complaining about the potholes there. And then there's some erosion around, the toilets that needs to be addressed.
Okay.
So I don't think I have any more money in my budget for the year. Do I, Rick? Where'd Mary at?
Which needs more fill or?
Well, it's gonna take some road base, definitely.
About how much you think?
At least a truckload, one big semi, like, I think they 15 tons at a time.
I think we could probably swing that.
And there's some talk about, purchasing a paddleboard station. Goes
That's a
here.
good idea. Isn't what that dock, the one big dock that goes out or is that just specifically for handicap fishing?
I'm not real sure on that one, but it is for a handicap, but,
What's the paddleboard station?
well, some of the people down there are wanting a paddleboard station. So you could, I guess, rent a spot for this summer or something like that.
Oh, yeah, we're talking about that. We're
Okay,
looking
so
at-
you guys are aware of
Yeah,
this.
we're looking at it probably at the, on the small lake, we have a spot. Looking at maybe doing some storage areas down there.
You know, nobody uses that warming hut in the winter time.
No,
See, that'd be
could be a
perfect.
storage. That could be a storage area.
That could be a paddleboard station setup is out, even in summertime.
At a premium price.
It's already set up. And we can lock it.
I think Patrick put us some photos and,
That's a great idea.
we're looking at maybe doing storage, canoes, paddleboards.
Right out there.
kayaks.
Cause you know, even in the wintertime, they don't really use that warming hut too much.
Yeah,
It's more of a mess
they're looking for
than
winter or to store it through the summer, so they can just take it.
for the summer, but you know, paddle boards, canoes, whatever, make that a storage place.
Yeah, I took some photos of the, I went out of Frisco, this past weekend, we paddleboard out there, Frisco Marina.
Okay,
They have a huge storage yard where all their, so I took some pictures of it.
That's cool.
So I don't think it took, they probably able to purchase them.
and then Cabin Creek's talking like they wanna put a bunch of ice skating rinks down there. I'm not really sure how this is gonna work out, so there's a question if we wanna order, if we were to put rinks down there, would we wanna order a new liner for the rink in the dog park this year?
Do we need one?
Well, if not, if we're just gonna put them down there at the lake.
Well, we threw the liner away last year.
Oh, you did?
Well, yeah, it gets destroyed every year.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah.
So we're gonna have to order the line then. Oh, I see. Are we gonna?
Instead of ordering a liner, we just, they wanna know if we can lean towards just doing it at the lake. I'm just,
Oh, not putting the rink
and
in
not putting the
Orland
rink
Park?
up in the dog park.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, only good thing about the dog park is the ice is nice to skate on where the.
Probably not sitting in the lake. Well, then there's some talk that some people in the community might wanna go in on a Zamboni.
Oh, yeah?
Full size?
Yeah, a real one. So there's a couple of residents that said they would donate some money for one. And some businesses were talking about it too.
Yeah, I gotta tell you, if you have a rink, and I know that sometimes is not like a winning proposition. Ice rinks are tough. You had a lot of ice rinks in Georgia, didn't you? Yeah. So he knows what I'm But, Minnesota,
Peaches.
Georgia, you know. Anyway, but I mean, we would be the only ice rink formerly between Summit County and Jefferson County. Yeah, Jefferson County, I think. Lakewood, that's Jefferson County, isn't it? No, Evergreen doesn't have a rink, do they? Well, they have the lake.
The lake, all of the rinks.
I thought they
I'm just
did
saying-
set it up last
I'm
year.
just saying, like,
They have the rink.
in terms of you, if you ever want clubs to use your rink and raise, you know, in other words, and pay fees and ice time and stuff like that.
Somebody who needs to manage it and.
Well, just say, we're creating jobs.
Yeah, I'm open to anything, whether we do it at the dog park.
This isn't something that we're gonna decide at all, you know, but I'm just saying, I always thought that Portland Park, you know, would be a great place for a full-size rink, but, you know,
Yeah,
give up the dog park, so.
Rick, what do you think?
I'm torn. I've gone back and forth as I'm thinking about it. It's like $1,200 to get a liner,
Yep.
and the liner gets trashed every year. And so it's hard to justify spending when I'm like, ooh, I can put that money towards the parks, you know, and towards, you know, the beautification projects or trees or
I
something.
just know it gets used a lot.
It does get used a lot. So the pros are, it's in a great place. Beth kind of manages getting hockey sticks and, ice skates. So she kind of manages it, and the wind is not very strong, so the ice stays smoother. So that's the plus. The downside is it doesn't get used a ton, but people do use it. A lot of kids and stuff will use it. So then the positive for the lake is we have the lake. We already have that little area that's on the big side of the lake that's carved out to be a little ice skate rink.
Yeah.
That was why it was designed, I was told, to do a little ice skate rink. We can freshen that up to make it look better, because it looks like it was just unfinished with a big berm on one side. So we can put some energies in fixing that up. So it's already there, and we just have to manage it. The downside is the wind.
Yeah.
And so the wind tears that ice up. So, I mean, Kevin can use the little tractor to put water over and kind of smooth it out some, and then put the blade on it a little bit. The tractor,
Isn't there a baby bamboo?
It's a lawnmower.
so it's a lawnmower that he does use to smooth the ice out.
I heard work last year when we did the rink down there, like,
It worked out all right. It just took a lot of time because the
You
wind
got pros and
covered.
cons. One is, it's not costing anything because it's already frozen ice, but we have to, so that when Kevin was mentioning, Neil Duncan has communicated that he's willing to front money in order to buy Zamboni. Cabin Creek has also communicated that they're willing to do it. It's the guys who have the paddleboard company, they're trying to create more winter action on the lake. So they're gonna do cross-country skiing around the trail of the lake. They're gonna rent ice skates, hockey skates, and other kind of things to do that. And they're like, we want to participate in this too. So I think with all three contributing, I think we could easily get a Zamboni, and then we have to figure out where we're gonna store it. We could store it in the warming hut if it fits. Neil Duncan has also communicated he's willing to store it in his property.
well, we put down, that's a small, not very big area, you know, but it's carved out. You know,
Is
that's,
it this,
So did you want to put it in that little bowl
Put
or?
it in that bowl, you're not gonna be able to get a Zamboni and,
And then also that bowl collects a lot of dirt.
Gotta remember that, you know, the back end of that thing, if you're talking about a full-size bony, your back end is pretty close to the ground, and so it's not like you can go four-wheeling with one of these things, like from the warming hut to where you're talking about.
Yeah.
And how would you make that transition?
and are we gonna put on the small lake or the big lake? Probably the small lake, no?
I thought the lagoon side.
Or we have it stored over by Cabin Creek, you know, with all their
Yeah.
stuff, so they can.
Probably a good idea to get a shed though, because those things are, although,
Well, he's got some of those connexes over there.
right,
Or you have a tent, 10 by 20 tent.
it's just a good idea, that's a very expensive piece of equipment, and you really wanna take care of it, so You don't wanna leave it out in the weather.
You know what one costs, I guess?
Well, Neil had sent me some quotes of ones he was looking at. This was last summer. And it was around the 8 to 15,000 range. So it depends on the usage and how far it was. So,
So that's used, right?
yeah, and not brand new.
I think
And
it's
it's,
great.
We wanna check the weight on those things too, for the lake, for how.
Oh, that's fine. I mean, we put a semi on the lake. I mean, last year we were averaging between 17 inches and 22 inches thick. So 17 inches is perfect for all things, 22 inches was the semi.
Is that in the lagoon?
The lagoon side was like 36 inches thick. It was
I'm
thick.
curious what it takes to manage it to do it, like
We can
Evergreen,
research.
like Evergreen does, they manage all that roots down there by the lake.
Yeah. We can research. We have to figure out how we're gonna store it.
Yeah.
We can create an IGA kind of thing or MOU of how we're gonna operate it, who's gonna be responsible for maintenance and all that kind of stuff, who's gonna maintain it and use it. You know, we can create something like that with the team of people who want to part of it, how it's gonna be stored. I think the big question is,
I think it'd be great if we pull it off.
do we want to invest in another liner or try this year and see how it works?
I'd like to try this
I'd like
this
to
year,
try
because
it.
I'd love to save $1,200.
I'd like to know if that's this, but I think it'd be good to try.
Considering we only have 4,000 total in our budget.
Yeah.
We need to
How are we
save
gonna get this in,
Yeah.
We'll start researching.
Are you talking about the kind of example that you see at like an ice arena,
Yeah.
that big kind?
There's advertising opportunities
They are
on the
big
side.
ones. I mean, nothing that we can't handle. I mean, they may make different sizes, and so we'll just have to
No, I
research.
think it'd be worth giving it a shot.
Well, the one thing about this is also in indoor rinks, they're propane fuel.
Hmm.
You can get a gas powered one on the outside, and I gotta believe there's probably some rink that went from an outdoor rink to an indoor rink that wanted to get rid of their own Zamboni.
Yeah.
Oh, that-
Yeah, and there's some municipalities that they trade them out every so often.
Sure.
Every 5 years, 10
Right.
years, and so.
Well, I think it's worth researching and. I think it'd be-
And then, Stephen West, there's, ask what they do with their Zambonis.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll do some, I mean, I didn't do any research, Neil Duncan did. So he's the one who kind of said, I found 3 at this price. So, do you want to jump on it? And I was like, not really yet.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, I think it's definitely.
Here, I'm gonna introduce you to Mary. What do you say, Mary? See, we can't do anything.
I thought you just paid for all of it, Neil.
I'll break your knees.
Okay, that's a great idea.
That's all I had.
Nice.
All right, thanks, Kevin. Bob?
You got the report, so I'm not gonna go through all that detail. Couple points I wanna make is we did get the grant. That's the good news.
Oh, nice.
The bad news is we can't spend it until we have a contract with CDOT, and they're saying 3 to 4 months to get a contract. So that puts us in the November, December timeframe, which means next year. And where we're at is pretty much what you see down the park is about what we have planned to be. The fire pit will be operational within the month of September by the cook-off for sure.
You could try to stone it too, or just be like concrete?
No, we have the stone to put around the fire pit itself. We don't have the budget.
Okay.
We'll talk about that in a minute, for the 2 semi-walls there, to get those covered with stone. You'd still sit on them, I mean, they're there. But the fire pit will be done, maybe not, we may not have the cap, it depends on when Lions get done making it for the fire pit, but the burner is here, the gas logs are here, the stone is here. The stone's probably gonna go up next week, I got the internals, we just need to, at a meeting with the electrician tomorrow to get him scheduled to do the electrical hookup on it. So within the next couple of weeks, you should see a fire down there.
So what's the plan, to try to get the fire pit going and then just button up the area and take the fence down for the winter?
Yeah, the fence is down,
Is it?
yeah, the fence is down, we're gonna go ahead and, clean up the park, rake it, smooth out some, try and fill in some low spots. Do that over the next week or so. The blocks in the parking lot, we're gonna move up near the building, so you get, more parking in the parking lot. They were put there to kind of give an idea of where the sidewalk is gonna go, and that reduces the size, so we'll look at that. To get to the phase that I just described, we have spent, and I've got to confirm this with Barry, about $91,000. That's the fire pit and all the underground stuff we did this year. Out of the $185,000 that was budgeted. There's just like $94,000 left in the 23 budget. The page with all the red, which is page 3. These are thoughts I had that you may want to consider if the town wants to spend that money. Mary said she'd like to spend all the money this year.
Yeah, if we have in the budget, we should.
Rather than carry it over. There's some other thoughts that said, well, we should carry it. I mean, that's for somebody else to decide. But I went down and kind of put some ideas of things that we could probably do. Probably not all of it, because I think we'll talk about that. In meeting with business promotions, their top priority was to put the new area lighting fixtures in, which I checked with the electrician. He has not ordered theirs yet, which is good because, to buy them is about $20,000 and about another $10,000 or $12,000 to put them all together and hook them up. Their second priority was to do the stone veneer work on the seat wall. Anything we did prior to getting the contract with CDOT in place means we don't get reimbursed for it. So it doesn't come out of matching money. So these are some thoughts. I don't know what your thoughts are. You can buy a Zamboni.
That's not a,
It's your budget. If you look at the last page,
Get your Zamboni out of the way.
of how the project got broken up when we first got denied the grant funding. We said we break it into phases. The first two items, the 75 and the 30,000, we've accomplished that work, or we will within the next few days. The 306,000, which is the brown color, that's the stuff that's in the grant. So if we do any work out of that now, out of money we have left,
everything under 75,000 that's green has been done.
yeah, pretty much.
And then 306, that's in the brown.
That's
Got
the
it.
grant, that's where the grant money, 250,000 for the
Yeah.
grant coming from the state, 56,000 coming from us. And then the 100,000 is what basically associates with the parking lot. And that was put off to next year, so thinking that we would do that all out of town fund next year. So in budgeting process, think $100,000 for next year. There may be an opportunity to do some of that out of the money. We only, out of the 105,000 that we kind of budgeted for 3A and, the first, the blue and the green color, we've spent like 90, 91. We have some money left. I mean, I guess going here, what would your thoughts be in terms of priorities? I'm gonna meet with the electrician tomorrow and get his numbers finalized and broken down in more detail and see what he could possibly do.
I'd say we just do what we can with the money we have before winter time, but you're saying if we spend money on stuff we allocated to grant, then we don't get that money, or?
We have 250,000 coming from the state, and it can only go to the things that we identified in the grant, which is all that green stuff, or not the green, the brown stuff.
Okay, which includes all the masonry somewhere.
Yeah,
That's why we're thinking just do the fire pit.
yeah, the biggest chunk of that over 100,000, probably more like 150,000 of
The
it.
flagstone paving.
Is the paving. Which is, Lions is. We established credit with Lions Quarry. They are awesome to work with. They said, don't worry, we'll work with you. When you get the grant money, then, you can pay us. And if you want material ahead of time, once we get it prepared, we'll get it done. Because there's like 6 to 8 weeks lead time, so they've already started making stuff. But it'll still be another month before anything is ready. And I just added the veneer stone to them. And they said, well, just, come up and get it when you need it. They put the 2 bundles away, as far as I know where it is. Literally, you can go up in my car or truck and pick it up.
I would say if we can get not gonna do the concrete black work, not to do any flagstone, we don't need to do any irrigation right now. Bluegrass, no, plantings, no, so it's between electrical work and basically stone work.
Yeah, I mean, what I would do would be to, we could do the seawall. And get that finished.
And that'll look good for the Christmas market too.
I was just gonna say, and it's
Yeah,
just-
that's a visible.
that's the goal, is really Christmas market.
It might be worthwhile to spend some money and get some, to do, I'm gonna need to get some fill anyway, so I'm gonna probably order a couple truckloads of either road base or.
Yeah, make it look as nice as
Crusher
possible,
flags.
and you get the fire pit done and the seawall done,
I agree.
and then call it for the winter and make it
That's
look
pretty
nice.
good.
The other thing is, we have flagstone, although I think Rick has got designs on salvage flagstone, so I'm not sure how much we really have, but there's a lot of cutted pieces that are gonna have to go in between the seat wall and the fire pit. We can put those in. Because we're ordering nice, clean cut stuff to go everywhere else, and we're gonna have to chop off the stuff to go in there, so that might be something we may be able to use our salvage material, so the material doesn't cost us any, it's just a labor to put it in, which,
Yeah, you're doing all rows, right? All rows, same.
yeah, it's all the red stuff.
Okay. Yeah,
The lights, since the lights are a big dollar item, I really don't think it's wise to spend our money on the lights, because that's a big chunk of the reimbursable.
yeah, no, I agree, I think we should focus on all
Is
this,
that electrical work?
yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, the lights in there, I'm gonna have to do the electrical work to get the fire pit going,
I agree.
but that's minor.
All right, let's get the fire.
So we're gonna go ahead and also order the Christmas stuff for that,
Okay,
because we can get it now, it's cheaper to get it now than to wait later, and we'll already have it.
okay,
Yeah, we'll definitely get the receptacle for the Christmas tree hooked up again, and I'm gonna have him put a receptacle in so we can string lights along the booth.
Yeah,
nice.
so we'll have 6 light poles, we'll have 6 things of garland and 6 wreaths. So we'll order that, and then we're gonna do garland streaming across the gutter areas. And I can't remember the linear feet that you told me.
I'm gonna go, it's like 120, but I'm gonna,
Okay,
I owe Jess.
okay. Yeah, so I'm just right, and we'll get that ordered probably the earliest tomorrow or Monday. So, but we wanna go ahead and get that done, so we're done with the Christmas stuff that we're purchasing right now. They're working on the outlets right now on Argentine Street, so that we can get Argentina, there'll be 18 areas that will be lighting up, 18 poles. Oh yeah, you said you hired me for big time, so I'm trying to deliver.
Hollywood, your name's Hollywood.
If we put a budget in for next year to refurbish the Georgetown sign,
Okay, oh, that's gonna be
yeah,
nice,
that needs to be done.
that's good.
So what I heard is basically get the seat wall done and the fire pit's gonna do that anyway. The seat wall and then clean up the park.
Yep, I agree.
And also the flagstone between the fire pit and the, right?
Yeah, we can do that, yeah.
What's that?
The flagstone between the fire pit and the seat.
Yeah, we'll have to see what we can do there. Okay,
If you do it, do it, if you don't, you don't, but.
yeah.
Oh,
But I think, spending the money to put, fill in those spots in there and kind of grade it.
Yeah, definitely.
We're gonna kind of clean that up and, so that it. Yeah.
So I called Nancy Hale today just to make sure, could they have extra flagstone and we have extra flagstone in the area, and she said, use whatever you need. We've already been authorized, if the town needs it, they can use it.
Great, so it's all, we can use it all.
Yeah.
Yeah, go get it tonight.
There's a lot up there, 'cause I mean, we brought, everything that came out of Strauss Park went up there, I mean, the stuff is, I mean, there's little pieces, and there's huge pieces, but the first priority for the big stuff will go to the sidewalk,
Sidewalk, yeah.
for the school.
And across from 415, or right at 415 Rose Street, it's on the sidewalk right of way that the owner has big bushes there. And so we're gonna cut it all out, take it all out and make a sidewalk and put a crosswalk there so the kids can walk down safely.
Nice.
Because if not, they're walking in the street on the other side. So we're gonna flagstone that area to kind of match.
Nice.
And we'll use,
And it's on a hill, if it's south facing, it's kind of south facing, you know what I mean? And the sun will melt that snow and
good,
it'll make it a lot more safe.
yeah.
I mean, it gets icy.
Just so that you're aware, Rick asked me to take a look at putting railings on the stairs down at the gazebo in City Park. So I'm putting something together and we'll take that to DRC for their blessing next week.
Okay.
Can you just talk to Cindy Neely too?
Yeah, it would.
Because I came in today, she's back.
Oh, she's back, okay.
She came in today and I was telling her about it, that she has thoughts. As
Okay,
long as you and her can coordinate.
yeah, I went down and took pictures and stuff, you know, I'm glad that she's back, I can talk to her and stuff.
Great. Sounds good, Bob. What's that update, 2016, Bridge Pass and parking, that looks good down there. You put the drainage pipe in down the end. Yeah.
Walk master.
All covered up.
And a French drain down there too.
Looks good.
Thank you.
Yep, looks good. I actually walked in there.
Looked at it. Almost there.
And you're gonna concrete that drain area, so
Put a grate over it, yep.
Yeah, that looks good.
it'll, I mean,
And then the big red rock right there, we'll move it after that.
I say I think we should go with a fund of truckload that need to build some roll down there, so.
You know, speaking of, you need to build the Strauss Park, get a truck loader.
I mean, we really do.
It's only like $350 a load.
Yeah, no, I mean,
we really do need it, but going back to what Kelly Davian said, I think he's concerned if he has to get trucks in there. The potholes are pretty bad.
yeah, no, we need it.
And so we need to get those other parking lots filled in, even if it's just filling in the holes.
Yeah.
Before we can do the whole, because I think it's gonna be a lot of road base that goes in there.
3 tons.
Yeah, I
Let's fix the whole.
A lot.
You with the Rotary, it's being sponsored by the big truck thing is being sponsored by Alvin Fry.
Yeah,
Bend his ear a little bit and see if he can donate some material. We'll pay for the trucking, but if he could donate the breeze, you know, the stone dust and road base,
Okay.
you know.
I know him personally, that I.
400 or 500.
400 or 500.
Yeah, let's just stock up with it.
Well, we can
That's a
ask,
whole lot better than that black stuff that comes from the highway.
it's true. We can ask him, he may only give us 200 truckloads. so.
I was thinking that when you mentioned that the other day.
Yeah, that's a good
You know,
point.
he would probably be very, very pleased to donate that. And we put a flag up for him. Donated by.
We'll call it the Al Fry
Turnaround.
Turnaround.
Statue of Al.
Oh, he would hate that.
Alrighty, Meadow Park, skate park, that's our next project up in Strauss.
Yeah, I emailed, New Line, Grind Line, Team Paint, and Dreamland Skate Park building companies, about getting quotes. And I haven't heard anything back yet, but I just hit them up this week.
Okay, that'd be cool.
Last minute homework.
Alright,
But put it out there, and then, I'll head up that, because, they're all gonna just want the
whole
dimensions.
yeah,
Anything we have on that. If we have a survey, we have a survey, but,
I mean, we can look for one.
yeah,
A file.
just anything that'll kind of give us square footage even would probably be helpful for talking to them up front at first. So, So that's it for that.
Sounds good. Greenway Park, bike track, I'll be getting started with that. Foster's Place Improvement, you said you power washed it, you're trying to paint or paint it now,
Yep,
and after that's done, is there anything else we need to do on there? Or
there's some repairs that gotta be done too.
Was that
Just some repairs,
repairs? Okay,
not a lot, just a couple boards.
okay,
We'll do that as we're working on it. Hopefully we're done within the next 2 weeks.
okay,
Obviously.
it'll be good. And I put down the canoe kayak paddleboard storage with a picture of down, we're kind of looking at something like that. Page 3 or 4. So something we could, should be able to rent it out, we can lock them up and leave it down there.
Yeah, what we can
You want to
do,
push those rocks down further, we can talk about that parking area.
which part of it?
The one in front of Cabin Creek?
No, this is, I'm looking at the one on the other side, by Greenway, or what's that called in there? It's
Little lagoon,
Little Lagoon, yeah.
Is it
Across
where,
the side of the bridge.
is it kind of where,
There's one house there, it's,
so covering Padres?
there's a spot where you can bring boats, it will be a
That's
rocks
what it is.
across it.
Yeah,
I park there and bring my paddleboard in sometimes, we looked at using that area and actually pushing the rocks down, making a parking area down there, and then putting the storage down there.
okay,
not bad, it's a spot for them doing.
it's a good area.
When we had our budget meeting, someone came to meeting, just threw that out there.
How many, stations do we want to put in there?
I have no idea.
I mean, if it's the metal racks, you can buy one and see how it goes.
Yeah, you
Buy
can one,
another.
two,
So maybe we start with 2 kayaks and paddleboards, 2
Yeah.
different ones to see the interest.
Yeah.
I'll get a lock on.
So here's what my plan
It's just a
is.
cable.
Okay, yeah,
My plan was gonna reach out to other places that do this and find out what program that they created. So is it where you pay a fee of $50 a month and you rent for the summer?
Yeah, Briscoe Marina would be great.
Right, and find out if they provide a lock. How do they do that?
Yeah.
And how do you prevent people from just taking their kayak and getting their own lock and locking up to it? Because if it's gonna be a program that we're saying,
Yeah,
you know, we want to be able to have control over it, so I'll have to do some research to find out what kind of procedures and stuff.
Some very big lettering signs saying you lock your key, we're gonna cut your lock.
Yes,
And take your kayak,
right,
and you'll have to pay a fee to get it out of the, impound.
correct. Or we say, if it's not paid at the end of the summer, then we sell these. We will turn around and sell your kayak.
yeah, I know.
But we're not gonna keep them.
Not, I might have a dozen down there maybe, so I don't think it's a big deal, I think we'll.
So we'll start off with 2. We'll see how the program, we can always expand as.
I'll look into it, research what the options.
Okay.
I have a question, a legal question.
Uh-huh.
What's the liability if somebody takes one of those, even if it's their own kayak and they don't have like a flotation device and they drown? Can they turn around and sue us?
No.
Why?
Because it's public space.
Okay,
It's called, immutability.
oh yeah, I mean,
And so you can't sue the town, like the same thing for streets and roads. You can't
Not
sue the town.
really, something like that.
Yeah, I think that's the sovereignty.
In some places, you have to have a PFD on your board or kayak, you don't have to be wearing it.
Yeah, you can get
You
a
have to
ticket.
have one, I don't know if it's the same here, you have one. Yeah, but here.
It's in our guidelines.
I think it's in it like, I don't know how official it is, it's like.
Hey, another thing too,
Somebody was windsurfing today, never seen it before.
here's something else to know, if someone asks you or approaches you, you're not allowed to have an open container either on the lake. Because there's some advertisement right now going about renting a kayak and having a beer, and there's advert showing you can't do that.
You better have a sign then,
Well, there are signs all around the lake.
does it say open
What if you got a screw on
This
cap?
is no alcohol.
What if you got a screw on cap, so it's not open?
I don't know, but I asked our attorney about it, he said, no, that's a, you know, if it says on public places, the lake is counted as a public place.
Yeah, and there's sign there, there's no alcohol, so it's the same thing.
So anyways, I'm gonna have to reach out to the organizations that are sponsoring this, come and have a beer on the lake.
Oh. I've heard that one.
Yeah, and it just, it's out right now.
All right,
So just in case people ask you,
okay.
no, you can't do that.
So we're looking at storage, park survey, because I'm not sure if we can do that. And our 2024 budget, kind of a big sheet that. Yeah, you did.
I went there.
I say you asked it.
Yeah, I went like a week before that, I guess that's the wrong date. It's right early, I already go.
Let's look at, we have our money granted yet, but we show we will be requested for 24.
Well, it's cut off. Your notes to the board of selectmen. It's cut on the big screen. Yeah, down the lower right. Personnel is always the largest expense. Ho and janitorial fees have more than tripled. I don't know what Ho is.
You see a vote.
Look at the notes to the BOS.
Oh,
It's cut off on the right.
yeah, it is, yeah.
I don't know, I mean, I'm trying to interpret it as best I can, but
Yeah, I don't know why it's cut off.
probably need that clarified.
Yep. So we put our budget in and we'll see what we get. Increase equipment a little bit. Have our capital outlay, flowers we increased a little bit, miscellaneous we increased a little bit. Gas and oil, stay the same. All the decorations, that was kind of money we budgeted. They have 10,000 in there now. Rental, a little bit, maintenance, a little bit.
Trees, did you put some money for trees for city park, any chance?
Yeah, we have a budget for trees, 10 grand. Or sewer, fence supplies.
I think that capital outlay number's a little low, don't you think?
Well, we just get that from our taxes, we don't, we can't tell what that amount is, but we'll find out what it's gonna be.
I mean, according to Bob, we're gonna need a lot.
Yeah, parking lot's gonna be about 100,000, right? And that's not grant eligible.
I think we put
But
that,
we can put a grant in next year.
we put a budget in there for 30 grand, we'll also get the tax that'll go on top of that. But that 30,000 is for the park surveys, park fencing, skate park design, the south, east Lake Park design and boat storage, and then RV design, so that's what that money's going for. But that we had money for what should we put down here? So we had money in for the Georgetown sign. I think this was being there too. That's it,
The Georgetown sign, oh, the sign.
the sign, yeah, we were gonna repaint it and needs to be refurbished,
The big one you drive under?
yeah, it's looking all ready. That's it.
So I'm gonna ask Mary just about the Zamboni. That where there's interest to go after this. Strauss Park, they have a little bit of funds that we can use, is that what I'm hearing? Okay. So you said the sign to the Georgetown sign, but that's not showing on here?
It's not, yeah, I didn't see it on it, but we talked about it, so maybe Beth just forgot to write it down.
Okay, do you remember how much money you wanted to put for that?
I thought we put 10,000 for it, but
So it needs to be 40,000.
Is that for the whole sign, a new sign or?
no, just a refurbish. I think maybe we go less than that. But I know we put the money in to do that.
And who moved it from there to there? Isn't it over there at one point and then?
It did move once.
I think it's because of the movie. They wanted it moved, is what I was told.
Really?
The John Denver Christmas gift.
Well, I think it was before that. I mean, that-
Which way?
I remember it was before the police would want, Is that what
No, this would have been within the last 10, 15
It
years.
seems
right?
like it was there, down there long, and then,
It just moved, yeah, they just moved on, and I can remember that coming to DRC back, 4 or 5 years ago at most.
yeah.
Because they put in the park, the sidewalks and things, isn't it? The lighting, and
That's
it's part of the rehab.
Oh, I see.
And that, and the big round concrete bases, those were all supposed to be covered with rock, and they never were.
But that's never got finished either in Argentine, like next to the walkway, next to the sidewalk in the creek. It's like half completed, so I don't think that all got.
Well, we're gonna look at getting that refurbished, so.
Yeah.
I just saw moving switchback, which was done here. It took place, in the town, but it took place in the Buckley garage, it was a scene.
Oh,
The guy walks out the door, walks down the street.
Oh, wow.
Any other movie.
So another thing that I would love to see, and I'm bringing it to you, it's not an urgent thing, it's just throwing it up of one, just beautification projects, but it's, you know, when you go into these now nice mountain towns, and I'm not trying to say I'm trying to look like Breckenridge or Vale by any means, but I always envision it when you're coming into Georgetown, seeing some kind of big sculpture of like a bighorn sheep, since that's what we're known for. Is having something when you're coming in.
I was thinking actually get a big bronze sheep out there in the roundabout,
Yeah,
that'd be cool.
exactly.
On top down.
So, I don't know what that would cost. I know Vale has a bunch of them up there. I could reach out to see what did it cost them to do that, and then for us to kind of think in the next few years, that would be nice to.
Yeah.
Just go up and borrow.
You got 8, you don't need 8.
They don't have really one.
We'll do it at night so we don't get.
Yeah, a big horn sheep will be really, really cool. That would be nice.
So, I'll check it out. I know it's not an urgent thing, but again, DRC would have to be involved and, but
That's
just.
a great idea.
This is really, it'd be nice at the roundabout.
I've always thought that if we ever got in touch with maybe like the University of Denver's, like, you know, School of Art, and just worked with them about, you know, that some of their graduates are new, you know, about, I wonder if like a project like us would be kind of enticing to them. You know, somebody who's like, you know, just looking to like place their, you know, get their name, you know, out there. Being
Or some type of
the guy who
master.
did the roundabout sculpture, you know, that's a resume holder.
How about trying to put together like a snow sculpting project here or event in town, that'd be cool.
That's kind of
Like
like
a snow ice.
They do it in Fresno,
Cripple Creek does it too.
Dylan.
in Fraser, they did it last year, went through it. They just bring big blocks of snow and then people come and do all their sculptures.
It's a great idea.
That's a great idea.
Pass it on to Jess.
Yeah.
And where they take chainsaws and do stuff.
Oh, it's really cool to watch. All right, great ideas, good stuff this meeting. That's it, if anybody else have anything else,
Well, I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Second that.
all in favor?
Aye.
So should I take off Foster's Place next month?
Yeah. Wasn't, Bob, Bill Gooch's, it's a Bill